Welcome to the PARAcast. Let me get it in screen. Welcome to the PARAcast. I'm your host, Tomas the Boss Hernandez. Joining me tonight, his favorite phrases are "everything must go" and when someone says, "Sure, I trust you enough," it's human grift machine Robert Wyatt.
Those guns aren't worth what you think they're worth. And I will be the only honest person that's going to tell you what they're actually worth, which is $200.
Yep,
Take
yep.
it right now.
You're like
That's
the guy that the pawn show calls in as the certified expert.
Yeah. I know the value of these things, and it looks shot out. Somebody put like 1,000 rounds through that pistol. I mean, you may as well just throw it away because it is garbage at this point. But
senior
I will
lowball.
take it off your hands because I don't want that to go to bad people's hands because
Yeah.
bad people shouldn't have guns.
Yeah,
So I will just take them for you.
yeah. Most people get paid way
Fully
less to
legit.
take their clothes off. That's Robert Stan. And
I'm down with it.
he's patrolling at night like a gayer Robert Pattinson's Batman. It's Jared Stepp.
First of all, the pink matches my eyes.
Brr.
And
screw you.
and Robert Pattinson's
And
Batman.
the boots look great.
And the boots look great. And Robert Pattinson's Batman was not as gay as we all thought he was.
He did have a vape though, so
Did he have a vape?
yeah, there's like the behind the scene photos and they talk about it about how like they got him a spot on his bat belt to put his vape because like between takes he was just putting
bat
in his
vape.
he was just shoving it into this stuff. So one of the costume designers like, "Here, we made you a little pouch, just put your vape in here." And he's like, "Oh, cool."
Oh man,
Yeah,
Adam
it's like-
Adam West be so
Fact.
impressed.
There's got to be a less carcinogenic cigarette so we don't have to look this terrible. Anyways,
No. All vapes should just look like big dildos. So in order to suck on them, you just put them in and go
the thick ones, just so your mouth's around the tip.
veiny. Oh yeah.
All the people on Castro Street in California agree with that message.
You could pick between an uncircumcised or a circumcised vape.
Or mutilated through a transgender surgery. Anyways, let's talk about what we did. I really didn't do anything. I've been packing up and moving, going through the ghosts of Guns Past, just having a good time, just doing what you're supposed to do while you're pulling out stuff and people are telling you to pack, and you're just like reminiscing about old boxes. You open up this like, what's this? And then you look at it for 27 minutes. That's all I've been doing.
What's
Robert's
this one taste like?
Robert's probably going to take the longest. So, Jared, what have you been up to?
I don't even remember the last time I've been on the show. So it's
Neither do
been
we.
a while. I know, it's been awful. Like the days I can, you guys can't, or like the days you guys can, I can't, and it's been wild. We've had a hell of a couple months here at work.
I
We had
know.
a fun murder. We've had a gaggle fuck of shootings. Um, we've had all sorts of random stuff happen. So far, I think I've come real close to shooting. I think different people in the past couple months, and we're just like, oh man, this is
Lucky.
crazy. I know. And then so it's been fun. It's been a good time and been very busy.
What have these
But
clowns been doing? What's been getting you close? What are the activities these guys are up to?
so one guy got mad at his wife and his family was shooting at them, and then was shooting at his neighbors, and shooting at the cops, and the cops ran away, which was interesting choice.
What was he shooting at them
Um,
with?
They
a
Monty
pistol.
Python that thing.
It was
Run
a Canic,
away!
actually. I know it was. Officer Robin was there, and he bravely ran away. And so
Did, did,
that
did
was
somebody
pretty good.
eventually find the holy hand grenade of Antioch?
The holy hot gas of Antioch was chucked inside the house, and he came about crying, and it was very sad. But no, he was. So he shot it. It was a wild situation because they put it out over the air that local city needed help. That they just have an officer involved shooting, and they needed expedited help. So we were shit flying over there. I park, get out of my car. I'm grabbing my rifle, and I'm hearing gunshots go off, um, like a house or two away from me, just from how it was set up. but I had to run around the corner to see where it was. And I get there, and these other cops are like, "Oh no!" Oh. And me and my buddy run up and like, "Where is he?" "Oh, he's right. He's in there. He's been shooting." I'm like, "Has he shot at you guys?" "Yeah." Have you guys shot back?" "No." "Okay. Do we have the house surrounded?" "No." "Well, we should probably do that." And then the two agency guys were like, "Okay," and then they just ran off, and they left me and my coworker like, "We're not even in the city, but we're just shoot this guy." We're just pointing at the front door. We're like, "Okay." I mean, we'll take the time off. It's Christmas.
Yeah.
So,
It's
but the
totally
guy never came
reasonable.
out again.
Boo.
I
I
know.
say
The guy
boo,
never
sir.
came out again.
Never came
And
out
then
again alive, or never came out.
no, SWAT got called out. He ended up coming out eventually, like 2 hours later. They gassed the shit out of his place, and he came out, talked some shit, and then they sent a dog on him and bit him,
Yeah.
and he
They don't
fought.
listen
And
as well.
good times, but that was a good one. And then we had a homicide where a father and son duo were selling drugs online, and the son was selling them, and the dad was being his protection. And then the three people who showed up to buy the drugs turned out were planning to
Fucker.
rob him, and they had guns, but the father and son also had guns. So the father drew his gun, and unfortunately, gentlemen, his chamber was empty.
Fuck it,
So
Israelis.
he pulled his gun out to be like, "We're not doing this deal." And then the guys in the car were like, "Okay, pop, pop, pop," and they shot the dad.
No
And then the
kidding.
kid ran away,
Oh.
and that was a crazy situation because it kind of reminded me, the scene from Return of the Jedi when the Ewoks are running around, they're getting all shot at, and they're like, "Ah, ah,
Mm-hmm.
ah, ah, ah," and then the two are running, then one gets hit. Well, they both get hit and they both fall down. They
Yeah,
both hop
and the
up
other one shakes
and
him.
they start running away. And then he turns around, he's like, "Ugh,"
Yeah.
and shakes his Ewok buddy, and then he's like, "Ugh."
All I'm going to say is that there
It
was
was just
never
like
a
that.
point in the Star Wars franchise that genuinely made me like hope for the Empire as the Ewoks. Really hated those people.
So yeah, it's been a quite an eventful couple of months here. But yeah, I haven't been able to do that much shooting stuff. I sold my Atlas. I bought a Staccato HD 4.5 and sent that off to Monsoon Tactical to get the sight block turned into a compensator.
Okay.
I think that's going to be really cool. I'm really excited for that. That's supposed to be showing up anytime now, so we'll see when that shows up. And when it does, we'll do a video or chat about it, and I'm really excited about that.
So with the 4.5 sight block model, the
Mm-hmm.
sight it actually has a is the front sight on the
It is a solid steel. So the
it's a
front sight is on
one
the sight block,
machined.
one machined chunk.
Okay.
And
Oh,
so
jeez.
Monsoon actually takes that front sight off and puts it onto the actual slide. So they have to mill the slide, put that there. And then they take that solid machine chunk of steel and cut it out. And where it's not just putting a hole on top like their chunk port, it's not a port. They're actually mill out the inside of it quite a bit. So
Yeah.
they make it into a genuine compensator. So essentially, it's a baby Staccato XC.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And
because
as soon as I saw that, I'm like, that's perfect for
the
that.
the HD's front sight is not dovetailed into the sight block.
Oh, it is, but they're gonna cut it out. They're just cutting a new one on the slide.
Cutting the new one, moving it over. Okay. Yeah,
So
that's the one thing that always gets me on the HD 4.5 is going through the time to make a sight block but not a compensator, but then having the forward irons and
what
not having
I
it as an
assume
iron
they're
sight
doing,
gun.
it's gonna be the next iteration of the gun is gonna be the comped one. There's a video online of Gabby Giffords, weirdly, shooting at Staccato, and she has a Staccato HD with that sight block is a double port comp. And so like there she's showing it off on her Instagram or whatever, and so I'm like, it's there. And so it's curious to see that, but they haven't come out with anything, and so there still must be working on it. But I figured this was, it's honestly not very expensive to do it this way because Staccato's doing such a massive discount for law enforcement to buy those HDs. I think the gun itself was like $2,100.
Yeah.
And then the Monsoon Tacticals, all their stuff is going to cost like $450, I think. So I'm going to be into it, maybe $2,600, which
It'll
really
put you right
isn't.
up to market, basically.
Yeah, it's pushing me. Well, I could still like sell it for probably more, and it's going to be interesting. I'm excited for that because I played with the gun a little bit before I sent it off to Monsoon, and it was a shooting son of a bitch. So I'm very curious and excited to see how that goes. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good time.
It is interesting how much that is taking the market. I was literally just talking to a guy over at Dead Air, and he was like, "Oh, I'm selling a gun. Do you want one?" And I was like, "Ah, what is it?" He goes, "It's Staccato," and I'm like, "All right, like for the right price, I'm listening." And then he goes,
What are you buying?
What are you buying?" And then he goes, "It's the C. What is it? The C3, the one that they made last year before the HD with
Right,
the
and they're abandoning it now.
what a like." I get it, and they've just come out with the newer, smaller HD. You know, they have the new smaller HD that takes the Glock mags, but he's trying to sell the other one that took the proprietary staccato mags, and I'm just like, dude, you're not getting anything for that ever. Like
That's
that's
the
What
problem
was he?
because
How
they
much was he selling it for?
I think he's trying to sell it for like 22 or something because these people are in it, $2,700 for a
Jeez,
gun
I
like
should have
that.
bought that gun. Dang it!
And especially when you have the HD series now that take Glock mags and seem to be shooting pretty well, and everyone can kind of get over the 80 series trigger. That the old guns are kind of falling away. Like I could still be talked into a P eventually with some discounted mags, but man, the some of those other ones are, I don't know, kind of probably going to fade away a little bit, especially when you have
well
a
that
gun designed around a cartridge and a
that
magazine.
C is so bullshit because that C they made a proprietary mag for that gun, and it was supposed to be the next coolest thing, and it was supposed to be all great. And I shot one. They actually shoot really nice.
Well,
They're
and
nice.
then they made different
And then they
sizes of that
abandoned it
C,
after
right?
like 3 years.
I
Yeah,
don't, I don't even think it's been 3 years. I think it's been just a couple of years.
maybe you might be
I
actually.
think
Yeah,
it
you're probably
might be
right.
2023 or 2024 that they released the thing because they came out with that whole C style with that proprietary magazine built around 9 millimeter, and then they
The
came out.
C and the CS.
Yeah, they came up with the bigger sized gun, so you could put in, you'd have your full size kind of blaster, and then literally a year later they come out with the HDs, which take the
Right.
Glock magazine, and then not only take the Glock magazine, but take a lot of inspiration from like the P30, and they just rebuild the gun into a better gun, and so everyone's kind of stuck here with this proprietary system that they're just gonna scrap and fade away with. So
I don't know. I had a chance to get one for $1,600, and I was thinking about it, and I almost did, and then I just didn't do it, and now I'm kind of regretting it because even if you got it at that price and you turned around and sold it, you'd still do well.
yeah,
Right.
if you could find
Because
it.
it's
Have
not
you
a bad.
shot that
It's not a
Staccato
bad
HD,
gun.
Robert?
that?
Or do you still have that? The HD I sold you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kevin's got it right now, but I've still got it.
Okay, I'm just curious.
The likelihood of me shooting it is somewhere next to non-existent, but I got it.
Well, and good thing because Robert picked up a bunch of guns that he has a non-existent chance of shooting. So let's go into that story.
Well, so the so Monday. So I'd been hearing rumors, but Monday, Brian actually posted on his Instagram that the Armory was closing down,
Oh, right.
and that sucks because
This
that's
is
where
where you
we've been running.
Yeah, new shooters.
Yeah, we've been running the matches there for 11 years, and this would have been the 10th year of USPSA. And so, I mean, like I get along great with Brian, so I called him up, and I had heard that he was kind of getting done with it, And so I called him up and we were talking. And the thing is, it wasn't a money issue. Brian Brian has money. I mean, his family is oodles rich, and it's never a money issue. What it came down to, honestly, was he just got tired of dealing with the ATF. The ATF through like the previous administration and to an extent, and even this administration, they make it so hard for small FFLs to do business. And Brian made the comment. He's like, it's almost like they're trying to consolidate all the FFLs into the big box stores. And he's like, I mean, there was just times it's just like this isn't worth it anymore. And his
Right.
health was going to crap just from dealing with it. And so he wasn't. It's not like he was doing this because he needed money. And so it's like, okay, well, if I don't need to do this, then why would I? And so
Like,
Monday
screw
he
you
puts
guys,
this.
I'm going home.
It literally, yeah. And so Monday he puts this post out on the socials saying, you know what? Hey, it's been a great run, but as of 26 November, we're done. We're closing. And so I call him up and we were talking about it. And I mean, I'm happy for my friend Brian. Like I'm genuinely
Yeah.
happy that Brian's getting out of it, and don't misunderstand me. But on the flip side of it, I'm just like, this is my match. I mean, this USPSA new shooter match has been one of the better things that I think we've seen in this market, and I'm very proud of that. I'm immensely proud of what that match has become. And so it made me sad because it's like,
You're
okay, well, the
killing
match
my
is gone.
baby.
It, I mean, yeah, dude. I mean, it
He's
really did
throwing
kind of feel that way. Is
he's
that like it's
throwing the baby
gone?
he's throwing the baby out with the hooker, and that's what it feels like. Um, but yeah, like
Was it already in the hooker?
Maybe.
that would be the analogy. The point is that like owning a gun shop sounds like for a lot of people like it would be a good time, but imagine it's working a retail job with immense amount of scrutiny from a government body. And
Whose goal
Yeah.
is to threaten you every left, right, and center with going to jail and a $250,000 fine. Because the thing that we've learned, and I've seen this just being tangentially involved in the Armory. I mean, I worked there for a little bit, but the it really is true. If the government does it, it's okay. If you do it, you're going to go to jail.
yeah, yeah,
And it sounds so pessimistic. I totally get that, but there's a lot of truth to it.
yeah,
And it sucks because I mean, we were talking. He's like, there's a reason that some of these other like Ready Gunner and some of the and TNT that they're able to deal with it is because like very early on they lawyered up like hardcore lawyered up, and they've spent like hundreds of thousands of dollars to fight the government over just all these things, and so they'll make a go of it. But
yeah,
yeah, so the matches. So Monday, like, we're okay. Well, shoot, the matches are done, and and I was talking to him. I was like, well, how long do we have? And he's like, well, there's people that are looking at the store, and maybe there's a couple different gun shops around here in the valley, and maybe they'll be interested in looking at it. And and I was like, well, when do you want me to get my stuff out of there? And he's like, just wait till till December 1st, and we'll go from there. I was like, cool. And so between then, and so it's funny because the word started getting out that the armory was closing down, and I actually had a couple different gun ranges reach out, which I thought was really nice, and they offered. They said we would really love to have you come do your matches here. And I told them where I was at. I was just like, I'm gonna wait till the 1st of December, see what happens. And they're like, we totally understand. But it was nice because in talking to Brian, he actually did make the point. He's like, what you do with the match and stuff like that, that's a selling point to a company because every match that we run, that's bringing in, for $300-400
yeah.
every
And
single
it's getting
match.
people into the store no matter what, so they're going to go in there and
Yeah,
buy something or look
Well, and
at
they don't have
something.
to do anything.
Yeah,
yeah, and that
yeah,
that was the big thing is like I I've been very proud, and if you see my matches, you can tell that I don't put tons of money into it. I mean, I try and make stuff last as long as possible. I really try hard to be kind of a good steward of what I got. And we have so our we run I run my target sticks until they are just done, and it's stuff like that. But so was it Thursday? We had our last match at the Armory, and I get there, and Brian and Steven, they say, "Hey, come here, let's go in this room, let's talk." And turns out, so Brian and Steven are talking, and they're like, "Okay, well, we have an idea. Brian says, I'm still going to close down the FFL, but Steven wants to take this thing and maybe turn it into a training slash events thing, because the range is still the range, and it would just cost a ton of money to
Tear it
basically
down.
tear that range down." And um, so he's like, is this something you'd want to stick around for? And for me, I'm just like, yeah. I mean,
Fuck yeah.
yeah. I
I'll
mean, like,
stick around
it's
and host the range, but I'm not going to be a part of hosting events.
Well,
yeah.
give him my number. I'll teach classes there. I'll happily
um,
do that because I'm so
I
fucking done with Slipsa.
yeah, and I absolutely would. And I think there's Stephen made the point. It's like, there's enough people in this valley, both through outdoor training, indoor training, um, events and things like that, that this actually is a possible place. And so it's not final yet. We're not 100% certain, but it sounds like the matches are going to keep going. And so we'll run another one in December on the 4th. And honestly, the range will be closed down by then, but I have the keys and the codes and things, so I can go get whatever I want. But we'll run one on the 4th, and that's probably going to be it, because the holidays is coming up. You just don't want to do stuff around Christmas time. It's hard to kind of finagle things. Although
Yeah.
maybe we will. I don't know. I mean, sometimes sometimes people just want to get
Sometimes
out
it's
of the house.
fun to have
Yeah,
stuff around.
yeah. And so we'll see. But um, as of right now, we're gonna try and keep doing the matches, and that makes me happy. So it was like this whole roller coaster of a week in terms of just like, this sucks, and then finally they're like, hey, maybe there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yep.
Maybe this will work.
Well, good
I
thing,
don't know.
like, out of their sorrow, no one profited or got any good deals out of it. So, you have anything else
Yeah,
to share?
Yeah.
no,
Robert's
no.
looting corpses over here.
Yeah.
Well,
What's it's got in its pockets is
it's got the precious. Um, so so as a part of it, they're having to close everything out. So they're selling off all their stuff, and they gave the employees and stuff like that kind of like first whack at all the stuff on the rental wall. And when I was there Thursday, I made a comment to Brian. I was like, well, if nobody's claimed it, I really want the MP5. It's a Century Arms. It's an AP5, but
Yep.
it's the MP5 K. And he's like, cool. And I'm like, thank you. And then so we kind of just we took it down. We put it off to the side. And then I was sitting there looking at it, and there was an M&P compact, and the 2.0 compact, and it has the hook trigger. And
Yep.
I was telling you, Tommy, is like,
the
I'm
older
probably
one.
the only person in the world who actually likes the hook trigger, but I
Yep.
really love the hook
The
trigger.
hook trigger on the M&P is it definitely helps with the break of the M&P, but you could get like your full finger around that thing, and so
Yeah,
that was nice. Like the updated flat triggers, like they're fine with them, but the Apex like kind of curved trigger, I always thought was like the pristine, like putting the Apex parts in it, leaving the hook trigger. That was kind of like the cool thing with it.
yeah. And so that was just sitting there, and I was like, you know what? If nobody takes that, I want that too. And they're like, okay, no problem. So I got this MP5,
Also that.
and it and I
Also
also got
this.
and I also got this. And
Also
so I
this.
ran I ran in Friday night, and I paid for everything. And this kid comes up, and he's like, "Oh, I want to buy this CZP-10F." And I was looking at him like, "Oh, that's a great gun. You'll really like that thing. I mean, they're just great
No,
shooting guns." And he's like, "Yeah." And it was cool because it was the P10F, and it came with a hollow sun. It was a 507K, and so he goes to buy it, and I'm just sitting there and I'm talking to him, and the guy's like, yeah, I need to see your driver's license, and and if you have it, concealed carry. And he's like, well, I'm not 21. And the guy's like, well, you had to be 21. He's like, I thought this was a private sale. And he's like, no.
I
He's
thought
like,
this was
oh,
America.
This is a
yeah,
gun. This is a gun shop, dude. You're walking
Yeah,
into a gun
this is-
shop.
Give me the gun show loophole,
yeah.
like the poop hole loophole.
I brought
So-
my
The
own
hole that
sign.
God can't see.
I brought
Tell
my
me
own
what he does.
sign. He's like putting it up in the front gun show.
Oh, but and so he's like, oh well, no big deal. And so he just goes and leaves it there, and then he kind of walks away, and I'm looking at it, and he walks away, and I'm like, I just take the box and I just slide it over and be like, I'll take this too.
Yeah.
So I now have this gun.
Yeah, so let's hold up that P10F for us real quick. So this is it's CZ's optic ready version of their P10.
Yeah,
Right.
this
So
P10's got the 507 on
Uh,
it, which is a
uh,
little small for what that gun is, but it came with it,
yeah.
and so
Athena
It's-
Precision is doing porting on those now. Andy,
Really?
over in West Valley, he really likes
Mm.
his favorite gun is the P10, and that's his baby, and so he's starting to offer porting for it, and it looks pretty nice.
Yeah,
That might be something to look into.
that might be something to look at because I like porting on guns. I think it's fun, and this is just a fun gun for me. So
I like flat shooting guns.
well, and so you have magazines for like your PO7, but you don't have the long magazines that would fit the P10.
but
Right?
I
'Cause-
do have P10 mags that go to my AO1 LD.
Oh,
This is
that's
Robert you're
right.
talking about.
That's
he
right.
Has mags.
So
he
you-
has mags.
So you have a grip of mags for this thing.
Yes,
you can do
I
it-
have plenty of mags. Jeff over on Non Another Shooting Show talks about how he's got a lot of mags, and I'm like, bitch, those are rookie numbers. You got to pump those numbers up.
Well, the thing is about the P10 is like it fits very well in the CZ ecosystem. It's a very
This is really
I've
a
nev-
sleeper of a gun,
I've
honestly,
never
because
heard
it's
anything
actually a
bad about
very
it.
good shooting. It's a great shooting gun,
yep.
Yeah, they're nice.
but it just never seemed to catch a lot of traction for whatever reason. But it's kind of like what is it? That Beretta, the
APX
little
or the PX4.
the PX4.
can.
It's like everybody who shoots a PX4, they're like, this is a good gun.
Yeah.
It never seemed to catch wind or anything.
That non
it's just too European.
that
I
non
guess.
Glock the non Glock striker fired pistol category is absolutely brutal. I mean, there's after you get past the Glock. I mean, the MP used to kind of hold something there. The XD used to hold something there, but now you're dealing with an area that has P10, APX, IWI, Masada.
Canic,
The Canic has that whole entire area. You
Walthers.
have Walther PDPs. You have Springfield Echelons. Like there is a
So that's actually really funny, Tommy. So we were watching, and as the night went on, we're sitting there, and it's like, what guns aren't being taken?
Yep.
Because I mean, like, there's a whole host of guns on the rental wall, and they're guns that obviously went fast. The Glocks, the Staccatos, even the CZs all went. The guns that were left, if you were to guess, what guns do you think would be left?
Oh, I would.
Okay, I'll give you a hint,
Springfields.
I'll give you a hint, and it rhymes with echelon.
Springfield.
And then just for fun, another one rhymes with Taurus.
Yeah.
Yeah, those didn't go, and HKs.
Yeah. Some of those.
Blaspheme.
If
know.
I hadn't just bought a house and just signed over a big check to people, and then also looked at like, oh, this carefree life of not having a mortgage, man, that was real fun. That's over now. I would have been down there because I know that they had like a suppressed HK USP 9 tactical, the compact one. They don't make those anymore. Like that would have been great. I know they have some HK 45. The USP tacticals. They had some USPs there, and I was just like, oh, I would love just to go there and drop $800-900 on USPs. But man, That
Yeah,
is,
I went in on Monday because you had asked about it, or not Monday, excuse me. I went on a Saturday morning, like right as they opened. And Brian was there, and they're just pulling all the guns off the wall, and I'm like, are you guys still selling? He's like, nope, Sportsman's. They gave me what I wanted, and we sold them all this morning.
yep,
And I'm like, well, I'm real glad that I bought everything today
yep.
or last night because that was and it was a great deal. I mean, I got a great deal on these guns, so I'm over the moon happy with that.
Happy, happy,
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, those
So
Well,
the
it'll be
I
interesting.
I
Go
hope
ahead,
I
Jared.
hope it continues. I hope they continue to have that indoor range because honestly, if they just wanted to do the range, I think there would still be a market for that, and without having to do all the bullshit um, FFL stuff. I think it
yeah.
might be a good idea and just say, hey, we're just gonna do a range, and honestly,
Range
they
ammo and
probably can
accessories.
get yeah, range, ammo, accessories, and they probably will get somebody who will say, "Hey, I have a at-home FFL. What if I moved my at-home FFL over to your location? I'll run all the paperwork and I'll do everything still, but I just like to have a storefront location." And somebody will probably pick them up on that, and somebody will
Yeah.
probably do that. And so it really wouldn't surprise me. And I hope they stay alive. And if they are just doing range stuff, and I know me and Robert talked about this before, but I need to get another location where I can do classes because that's actually one reason why I haven't done any in so long is I got really annoyed at Slipsa because I love some of the people over there, but it's a really frustrating thing to do when every single time you talk to somebody, you get a different answer on what's included, how much things cost, and you talk to one person, they're like, "Yeah, you can. If it's out, you can use it." You talk to another person who says, "Oh no, you have to pay to rent a barrel. Oh, you have to pay to rent this. You have to pay to rent this," and it got to the point where it's like, dude, I'm so annoyed about all of this that I don't even want to host classes at Slips anymore because it's such a hassle. They don't communicate. I send them event requests. They don't tell me it's approved. They don't tell me it's good. They don't tell me anything. They don't send a confirmation. I never find out. Even on my event request for the big cop match in April, I sent a big event request, filled out everything, got a new insurance policy that cost me thousands of dollars, and never get a confirmation that it's even confirmed. And so it's like, oh my god, it drives me nuts. And so if Armory could do that, I think that'd be great. And I need to start teaching classes again. So it'd be
Well,
fun.
I think I can put you in contact with people I know because I think they would be over the moon to have people reach out and who actually want to put things on there. And there's certainly room for it. The range is the range in many aspects is really one of the more profitable aspects of the gun store because it just I mean that's where all the money gets spent. The margins on gun sales aren't great and they just aren't
Yep.
with online stuff like that. And then the amount of just oversight obviously makes that just so onerous you don't even want to deal with it. And so talking to Steven, I think if they do this right, um, they actually asked like, do you want to do more matches? And I was like, okay, we could. I just have to have match directors who are willing to do it. And then people were like, well, yeah, I'd come in. I'd do a mini rifle match where you shoot AR-22s and stuff like that with little targets
Hmm.
and do that kind of an idea. CCW, just straight
Well,
CCW matches, all kinds of fun, goofy things.
I could do matches there because part of that insurance policy that I had to buy, which was super annoying, they
Hmm.
don't do event insurance anymore. They do club insurance. So now I have insurance for the Utah Law Enforcement club, and so I can have matches anytime I want during the whole year, and I have insurance to cover it. And so it's like, yeah, I can do more matches. And I've talked to Slipsa about it, but like, do you guys want me to host more matches? Because I can now. Just let me know, and I'd be happy to do it as we've been doing it, where I pay you guys a fee, I do this, you guys do this.
Yeah.
They want me to start buying my own targets now, which is kind of annoying, but I got to do that. So I need
Yep.
to piggyback onto somebody to buy targets because I need to buy probably like 1,000 targets, which is a lot, but whatever.
It's
And
it is a lot. I mean, if you talk to, I can put you in contact with one person I know that does it. Actually, there's two people that do it, but I don't know why they don't just when they do their big order, why don't they just call you up and say, "Hey, Jared, we're going
Well,
to
and
buy targets. Would you like to get in on
I
that?"
I talked to them about that, and they're kind of cagey about it because they're really apparently some shit went down with the 501(c) or their
Yeah.
nonprofit status. There was some shenanigans and some books confusings were happening, so they're really paranoid about accounting right now. And so I
So
think
I can
that's
actually
why they're
talk.
being super annoying about it. But I'm like,
Yeah.
I can give you cash or however you guys want to do it. If you send me an invoice, I'm happy to pay it on an invoice with a credit card. I have a business account. Like I have all this stuff. Like we can do this however you
All on
want.
the up and up.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
not a problem. But
Right.
it's just annoying because nobody seems to know what's going on over there, and everybody has a different answer,
yeah.
and everybody's kind of frustrated about the situation.
But if it's kind
And
of like with Robert, if you're able to sit there and buy targets and have your host your own matches and store stuff over there, then that'd be great. That'd
Not a
be
bad way to go.
yeah,
right,
that's not a
well, they're
bad way to
telling me
go.
they want me to buy my own iPads. They want me to buy my own Connex. They want me to get my own stuff. And I'm
Maybe
just
they
like,
just
isn't
think you're
this like
dirty. Maybe they're just racist.
that's probably it.
That's
It's the
odd.
squint eye in me. We do have confirmation they're a little racist against the squint eye.
I can't tell if he's
Where's Eric
Hispanic.
Sayo?
I can't tell
Is
if
he in
he's
a tunnel?
Hispanic or some sort of Asian, but neither one of them floats this boat. So
Well, what's
keep
funny is when they pop out of tunnels now, you can't tell if it's Viet Cong or just Mexicans.
Well, you just shoot them all.
yeah. Well, that's that's the
No,
Jeff
they're
That's
all
gonna
our
get me
friends.
canceled.
They're delivering burritos or pho. They're good people.
Yeah, and nature finds a way. Nature will find a way to get them out.
Thanks, Robert
No,
Muldoon.
no, it's good though. I'm optimistic. I really am optimistic. I actually think there's potential for this thing. We could actually make this indoor because the indoor match is actually it's immensely popular. The last match, like our last match, we had 40, I think we had 41 people sign up, and 31 people shot the match.
Yeah.
I
No,
mean,
that's
if I can have the entirety of that range, I can put more people into that match pretty darn easy.
yeah.
Right.
And if I can do it in a way that, and that's the thing. I mean, like under this one where we can essentially just close the whole dang thing down, I could have 4 stages all set up and have people just straight cycling through
And
and
how much are
maybe
they
run it
charging
that
you per
way.
person? $10, $20?
It's $20. It's $20 a
Yeah.
person to shoot the match.
And so you get 40 people there. That's $400, and there's nothing that the range has to do. They just made $400 in one day.
just keep the
Like,
lights
why
on.
wouldn't you do that?
Yep.
Yeah, it's really I think it's 800, but still like it's good money.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, if you would like to
Oh,
spend good money, maybe
yeah,
you
that's
don't
even
have
better.
the ability to get the deal of a deal, and like Robert does, you can head over to well, you got to hang those guns on something. Head on over to American Operator Gear and Dominate Defense. Use promo code PARA10. Save 10% off your order. Look at this. Look at this fine belt with a fake gun on it. It's amazing.
Wow.
Yep, Mach 1 speed belt, best one in the industry. Years and years we've had these things. They're fantastic. Check them out. Use promo code PARA10. Save 10% off your order. Let's just say you got yourself a new M&P, and you're like, man, I need to get some weight on the front of that thing, or you get yourself a CZP-10, and you're like, I really need to do stuff. Does Kevin have CZP-10 stuff? I'll have to look. But you can use promo code PARA10 and save 10% off W74 guide rods. Also, weighted batteries, all sorts of stuff for you. Check them out. Use promo code PARA10, save 10% off your order. And check out Rune Tactical. I know he's got +2s for the old M&P. So get your floor plate and spring kits to get an extra +1 in your gun on your
So
M&Ps. I've had those before. They're fantastic. Use promo code PARA10, save 10% off your order. Rune Tactical.
so that was kind of a funny thing. So like I bought this, right? And they usually kept all the boxes. They actually had brought all the boxes out that they had for all the guns, and I'm searching around. And I could not find the box that came with the MP, and I was just like, okay, that's super weird. It's weird on a couple reasons. Like if I buy a gun it comes in a gun box, and I get really kind of pissed because I'm like, I don't know where I'm going to put all these gun boxes. I've got like a shelf, like a bookshelf filled with gun boxes, and it's like, what am I going to do with all these things? But on the flip side, if I buy a gun and it doesn't come with a gun box, I'm still pissed because it didn't come with a gun box.
Yeah.
I can't win.
Yeah.
But
That's called being autistic.
Have we knocked out the slide?
Skosh.
Have we knocked out the slide stop pin on that M&P, or does it still have the obnoxious one where you can't drop the slide, or did they stop putting those in?
I think this thing actually has just been used enough that you can drop it. Yeah, it totally works. But the cool thing was, so like I couldn't find the box, so I walk back to the gun counter, and I'm like, I'm looking for the gun box. And like, oh yeah, we had this Ziploc bag. It was filled with M&P parts, and I'm like, cool. So we search around, and we find this Ziploc bag, and it's filled with like parts to an M&P, like the plates to the optics, and there's back straps, and I'm like, oh, these are all mine.
Yeah.
So I come home with 4 magazines and base plates that I'm pretty sure didn't come with a gun, but they came with my gun.
Yeah. No, that's pretty nice. That M&P 2.0 compact, like that's a optic ready gun. That's a good steal. I mean that really comes with a lot of stuff that is.
Oh,
sweet.
It's a great
system.
a great shooting gun. I like compact guns. Like I like the Glock 19, and I love the M&P compacts. I think they're just great.
Yep.
But questions. Actually, the first question's from me. So I bought this MP5. They said Glenn said that I probably need to get an extractor for it because it's been shot a ton, and so it's obviously going to need to be gone through. And so my question is, what are the parts that I should have for this thing on hand for general maintenance of an MP5, both the K and the full size?
Well, you can have your you have your extractor springs. You have your what is it called? Is it the notch? So how the bolt goes back, there's a rotating notch, and they have different amount of degrees for whether or not they're suppressed or a K model. I forget the what is I think it's a cocking notch, but it has different degrees. Anyways, so like basically you can check out which one you would have on there. I mean, it's an M, so it's the AP5M, so it's non-suppressible, flat nose gun.
Wow.
So it's
I have the full size suppressor.
You gotta get a super safety. Get the full auto Burt.
I have that too.
The hard thing is with the K.
Well, that actually brings up another question or another thing that they came up that we'll have to talk about. Just remind me to talk about the suppressors.
With the K guns, like they do have a different lower receiver set than the full size gun. So like I know that like HK Parts back in the day had the Magpul lower furniture that you could put on there. My recommendation, if you get one of those MP5s and it has one of the accessory optics rails put on it first, is to loosen that up. Not so much that it becomes a pain in the butt and you can't get it back on, but like you can run into cycling problems because that thing can put enough force on that receiver that it can impinge the bolt on the bolt's way back. Because you have the screw thing, and if you tighten all the screws and really torque them down, you're going to compress the upper receiver a bit, so it can make it a little bit difficult for the bolt to run. The other thing with the Ks, so the cocking piece, the extractor springs that you can have on there, and then also the recoil springs, because they're a little bit tougher on themselves than the full size model. And then
that makes sense.
Once you get all those backup parts, the thing to really grab on those things is to SPR that bad boy and put the choke folding side folding stock. Or if you want to spend the big bucks, you get the B&T telescoping stock for that thing for like $600.
Eesh.
Yeah, you got yours for $600 probably, so it's not good. It's gonna be quite a bit.
Gun.
Yeah,
right?
It's the cost of the gun. But yeah, the AP5M, I mean they're excellent as SBRs when you get a forward grip on them, but like as a pistol, they are pretty difficult to deal with. So
yeah, and this was nice because it actually came with the brace already.
Yeah.
And so it makes the gun a whole lot easier to run. I forgot to say, I also got a TreasureCon MRO.
Yep. That's how I run mine. I have my AP5 and I have the Midwest Industries mount, and then I have the
Now with
lowest
more
mount on the
fisheye.
MRO fisheye mount for that bad boy, and it works pretty good. So
The question, so this was interesting. So because Brian is, he's actually, so he's getting rid of the FFL, but I had actually gone through and I bought through Silencer Shop the I bought an Omega 9K, and
Nice.
but I did it so that it won't come until like after January 1st, but then the FFL is over with. And so I was talking to Brian, and he was telling me, he's like, and I was like, what do you recommend? He's like, well, I'm going to try and keep it for a while. The challenge that you're going to run into is so many people at this point all went and did the weight.
Exactly what you did.
yep.
Yeah, and what's going to happen is come 1 January, that thing's going to kick off, and you potentially have 6 7 month wait just for all of that paperwork to come filing through. And he's like, but if you're if you have the means and the wherewithal, he told me, he says, like, I had a form 4 that I put in on Tuesday and I got it back Wednesday.
Yep. I mean, there. I think everyone with the suppressor stuff is really waiting. I mean, I'm at dead air every day, and they are holding on to a lot. There was a lot of people who, during the government shutdown, for the first half of the government shutdown, they weren't moving anything till the ATFs was deemed essential, and
Hmm.
moving stuff along. But like, yeah, they're just sitting on a ton of stuff. Like, I think I'm delivering like 222 cans a day, and they're just taking
Wow.
those and they're back ordering those and they're just putting those away because people are buying a ton of those things and they're just waiting for the first. And so you're gonna run into a very, what would you say, efficient ATF. Like when I bought my Mark 23, my B&T can,
Hmm.
put it on Friday, got it back on a Monday, and so
I think
a very
I'm going
efficient.
to actually call them up on Monday, tomorrow, or yeah, tomorrow. And I'm going to call up Silencer Shop and just tell them, like, I'll pay the $200, just get
Yeah,
it through.
that's
Yep.
And
what I would do.
I mean, it's like, I think that's what Brian suggested. He's like, just like that. If you have the money, just get the thing done, because otherwise, I don't know if I'm going to
God
have my
knows what's going
FFL
to
then.
happen in January 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
Yeah. Well, and the other part
that's
is too is
that's
like
interesting.
we haven't even thought about. We're looking at all the backup on the silencers, sound suppressors, but we're not even thinking about all the people at home who have all these pictures taken and all the stuff documented on turning in any lower
Form
receiver they
1s.
have into SBRs. Like,
Or turning cans that they made at their house into cans that they made into their house legally.
or turning their
Yeah.
Glock 17s into SBRs so they can do whatever they want and attach some stupid stock on them. There's going to be a lot of this SBR
Tomfoolery.
game. Yeah, it's going to be slammed for a while.
Yeah. So okay, that actually just kind of that further kind of like incentivized me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that tomorrow. I'll call them up first thing in the morning and just get it done, because it'll just solve it, and then I'll have the suppressor, but at least I won't be waiting another 9 months for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Nope. Did Robert just cut out? Did he just kick his?
Did I just
Nope.
die?
Oh, there you are.
There you are. You just died. We didn't hear you there for a second.
He was just mouthing words. He was just fucking with us.
Let's see. From Dave Blanton, the PCSL Belt Championship has a full-size gun division and an actual carry pistol division. What split will we see between the two, and what proportion?
Full size gun division will be 70%. Carry gun division will be 30% of that.
Think so? I'd have to see. I'd have to see how it kind of what they
Wait,
set their
did you
rule
say
set to be.
70 and 30?
Yeah, that's what I say. I say like
Oh,
full
okay.
size like competition guns will probably be 70% because most people who get into this really want to do things to the guns. I
True, but if you think about it, like, hunters actually putting a lot of money on the table, and as much as we give people crap for trophy hunting, I mean, that money aspect is not a bad thing to consider.
no,
I
it's
haven't
not.
been
And
following any of this. I know you guys have talked about it on other shows, and I've listened to those. But
He,
what's he doing? It's like his own side thing, right?
yeah, I mean, like
Yeah.
if you buy a Hunter Constantine belt and you go compete at a major match, uh,
Do other belts that look similar also count?
no, no,
Or might have been
unfortunately,
OEM at the beginning and
Other belts
have
that might
90% of
be
the idea.
the same
Yeah.
belt? Do those
yeah.
also count? What if I flip it over?
I will just scratch out the lettering. No,
Jesus Christ.
I know, I know. Regardless of that, geez, Jacob Hetherington won that '84 Corvette or whatever it was. But he's actually doing a good job. Uh, Andy had him on last week, and they were talking about it. There's a lot of like momentum behind putting those matches together, and he's kind of making a cool run of it, and I think that's awesome. But
Well, I think it goes back to one of the things we talked to a lot about making matches fun
yeah,
and making it a fun component of actually
Yeah.
having like, oh, hey, this is fun. This is a silly thing to do on the side that isn't having guys with silly accents go, well, actually, this is double.
Yeah.
it's really hard for people to, for some reason, and I don't know why, but we've gotten past the idea of let's have a stages that are fun to shoot.
Well, you
They
can
all
get
they all they have to be stand up, shoot the same thing that you'll see in St. George, that you'll see in Grand Island, Nebraska.
it's hard to
And
make things fun to shoot and then to keep the match flow going with similar times or whatever. Like adding complexity to the stages or adding something fun can make things a little bit more challenging for things to flow through. The other part is too is like with putting bounties on performing certain behaviors in matches, people will stop hiding and doing a lot of the trophy hunting kind of stuff, and then they'll start moving into those divisions. Whatever you incentivize in the sport, people will go to.
oh yeah, no, for sure. It's totally gonna be that way. But I think I am so okay with the idea of Hunter doing what he's doing, as long and not USPSA doing that. I mean, if USPSA was taking your annual due membership and they were um, spending that kind of money to incentivize things, I'd be pretty pissed. But where you have Hunter, who's apparently really good at marketing and stuff like that, I think that's pretty awesome, and I'm excited for it. It's the same that like you see with Brian Conley. I mean, Brian travels all around, and he's a recognized name and voice in our sport, and people, I mean, they see him at matches, they go up to him and they're like, "Hey, how you doing?" So he is synonymous with with shooting glasses. And we had was it 2 weeks ago? We had a match, and a guy had some trouble with his. He was saying his lenses were falling out. I sent Brian a message, and he got right back. He's like, "Yeah, just fix this." I mean,
Yeah.
that was pretty damn cool because you have that kind of accessibility to people who they're financially motivated to be in the sport. I mean, this is a profit thing, but they're super cool about giving back and taking care of the people in the sport. And I absolutely love that. I love that Brian Conley does it. I love that Hunter Constantine does it. I like that. I think that's cool. And the fact that we now have matches where you're doing fun and wild and crazy things, I think that's even cooler. Lance Peters at our indoor match Thursday, he was shooting concealment with a Shadow 2. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. You wouldn't normally see that.
That's taking
But
your
he's
penis in
absolutely
your own
doing it.
hands and not in a pleasurable way.
Well, as long as you don't go and like dork with the gun the way I do, it's probably going to be
I don't
okay.
know if there's anybody on Earth who hasn't dorked with a shadow too. I like
Yo.
there's yeah,
Are we
but
still
like
talking about penises?
yeah, pretty much pointing it at pointing a shadow to at well. Sometimes people want something a little longer than 4 inches in the front of their pants, and so they put that in
That's what
there.
she said.
They're just like, you know what? Damn it, I feel amazing. I feel so more masculine now.
But yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what comes of it. I think I think this is probably the best way that we're actually going to see a movement into the concealed carry space. And honestly, I think this is doing more for IDPA and that whole practical, tactical life than IDPA could ever have done on their own.
Mhm.
And that sort of sucks for IDPA. But I mean, this is actually doing. This is what he's doing in this regard is essentially the same thing as what happened when we went from iron sights to dots. It's going to move the technological needle in a way that we hadn't otherwise considered. And I always love it when people find a way to push that technology forward.
Yeah,
Uh,
that'll do it.
um, from Moisha, what is the most non-USPSA gun you ever shot a USPSA match with?
Oh my gosh. The
That's a
most
dang good question.
non-USPSA gun.
I shot with a high point once.
It's
That was
hard.
very bad. Bad. It didn't end well.
It's
Rolling special, I guess.
oh yeah, like a Roland special. Like man, how that. I've never seen a concept of a gun be so embraced yet so um, exiled at the same time. Because there's nothing about that gun or that concept that could not continue on, and many of that stuff has continued on, like compensators or ports or something like that. But you do not actually see that setup anymore. In
Right.
and the
Everybody's
one
gone to the Radian Ramjet.
yeah, so like you sit there and you have like something that has like a Holosun or a Defender XL on it with a ramjet, and it's essentially the Roland Special, but not the Roland Special.
Same,
But
but the developed differently.
Yeah,
I
that's
will
the
say
thing, right? Because
one time I shot a match. It wasn't a USPSA match, but it was a fun for just for fun match, and I did it with my Mosin Nagant.
yes,
That
that
was
yes,
fun.
there's something
that would be
about
cool.
40 rounds out of a Mosin Nagant where your shoulders just like, man, this thing was not designed for a human shoulder. Like the Mosin's like concave, back pointed
Oh
in
no,
stock.
I bought a giant rubber
Oh,
pad
you
to
bought
go on
you
on
bought
that
the
bitch.
Tapco
What do they
pad.
call it? The limb saver or whatever that thing's
Yeah,
called.
because shooting that thing, just raw dogging it, holy shit.
Yeah, there was that
Yeah,
thing.
you got about 10 rounds before your arm and shoulder have gone to Jesus because
Well,
it sucks.
What was Brian
it's gone to
Nelson taking
Stalingrad.
a Car 98 and downloading the 8 mm Mauser like to like pistol velocities and then shooting matches with that thing.
Brian's done all sorts of
Brian's done all
silly
Oh yeah,
things.
yeah. It's just like watching his PCC Instagram and he's got some iron sighted AR-15 style 9 mm. You're just like, what the cuss
No,
is going on?
M16 style.
Style, yeah.
the A1 version.
Yeah, probably the most non-USPSA gun I've probably shot in USPSA would probably be like a USP because it's probably the most. PX4 is similar in a way, but the USP is definitely a lot more dated, but not
I
at
don't
the same
know.
time.
HK45.
HK45 is much more impractical to shoot.
Shot my 45 the 45 PCC there. That's completely outside of what you would shoot in that match.
Yep.
I still actually think that is still one of the funnest times you'll have because it's just fun.
Yep.
Just a fun gun to shoot in that world.
Shooting the chunkers.
Last question from Mr. Moisha. Are there any tips for USPSA revolver division? I think I might give it a try next season for fun. Is don't do it an option?
Like why? Like why? Why do this?
If you want to do a low cap, do single stack or do production. Don't do revolvers. Just ugh.
The barrier to entry to revolver to compete at a same level for revolver is really high. I mean, maybe instead shoot a 1911, but every time you go to reload, you have to manually put the bullets in the magazine before you insert it in the gun. I mean, that's the same level of pain.
So my beef with revolver is that the revolver skills that you need for USPSA do not translate to anything else that's useful in any way, shape, or form. The reloading with the moon clip, reloading with this speed, reloading, shoot, even the way you shoot a revolver, the way you fucking hold a revolver, none of that, in my opinion,
full size
translates. Translates to shooting other semi-automatic
The
firearms well.
the only thing that I would push back on that
Gives you
is
great trigger discipline.
that's exactly it. I learned how to pull through a trigger, and keep the sight steady enough to hit the target. I learned more when I was shooting revolver for a while than any time before. And
Yeah,
it's not you would learn it otherwise. I know you'd learn it otherwise.
Go
There's a-
dry fire with a revolver then.
well, no, you could just buy any other double action pistol and dry fire with that. It'd give you the same thing too. You could go buy any one of the double action only pistols that's still available. You can get a used
Oh,
SIG P226 DAC, which actually have great double action triggers, and shoot prod or something with them. The other
Oh yeah,
part,
they had one of those on the wall too, and nobody wanted that piece of shit either.
well, tell Moisha to go to Sportsman's Warehouse. They just bought it. But you can do a lot by shooting something like I think there's a lot to be gained by shooting iron sights with something double action in production, or even if you just want to add a dot and shoot something double action, limited 10. Like there's a bunch of different things that are much more practical
Right.
and way less expensive. Like revolver, as far as setting up a belt and the ammunition, is pretty expensive.
It's new everything.
It's
It's
it
new
really is. There's
everything.
nothing similar.
And nothing is a one of the things I like about USPSA, it is a martial sport, and there is a real life quote unquote crossover for me. Doing revolver, there is not.
Right.
There's no crossover there with how you hold the gun, how you shoot the gun, how the game plays, like everything. In my opinion, it's a very very different sport. And if you want to get good at that sport and play that sport, that there's nothing wrong with that. That's cool. It's a cool sport to do, and it's very impressive, and it's a lot of fun to see these revolver guys run around and shoot, and they're having a great time, and they're doing really well, and I like watching those guys shoot, and it's fun. But it is, in my opinion, almost 100% different sport.
Yep.
And so I would think if I was trying to generally get better at shooting, if you want to do the stage planning and the I have to be careful with my ammo management, that side of the sport, if you want to do more weapon handling, more reloads, more gun stuff, then shoot production or shoot single stack. I'm slowly been building out a single stack rig again, and I just got all my mag pouches. I got a belt. I kind of have a gun, and so
You're shooting stack 9 or 45?
yeah, just 9.
Stack,
Oh, good.
But
stack 9 is
that would be a ton of fun. It's an absolute blast to shoot single stack 9mm. Absolute blast. But the thing is, in my opinion, it all crosses over quite well. If you're good with a single stack of 9, you're going to be good with any other modern semi-auto firearm.
Yeah, if you want to play something different, I mean, production 15 kind of sucks at that because it's not enough of playing the stage tactically different. But as far as the shooting, like, go buy yourself a polymer framed double single pistol, and then when you get it, do jack shit to it except for the sights, and you will find that you are going to have to get your trigger control and your grip is going to have to become substantially better to shoot a platform like that. Like, lots of good things
Because they suck.
It's very like a aluminum framed or a steel framed double single gun is significantly easier to shoot than, let's say, like a full size polymer P30 USP CZ. Go get a Nocturne, a P09 compact Nocturne or a P09 Nocturne, and leave the damn thing stock and just go try to shoot something like that. Like, it's going to teach you a lot about trigger discipline, and especially during your dry fire, and like, you'll just go through the stages as you go through the stages. Or a single stack, like having 10 rounds, it's very difficult, especially with iron sights. You're going to have to monitor what you're doing with the sights and the trigger the entire time to be competitive.
I think if your goal is just to go out and do something and have fun, and that's it, you're just like, this is something different, I just want to have fun. Honestly, just go buy yourself. I mean, if you have, I mean, you need an 8-shot gun. A hooker would be helpful. Buy yourself an 8-shot gun, whatever it is, whether it's a Ruger or a Smith & Wesson, doesn't matter. Don't F with the trigger. just get used to pulling that big L heavy trigger, because then you can at least use whatever ammo you can get your hands on, and then just dabble in it and have fun for as long as you want to, and then if you want, unload the gun. But everything Tommy and Jared said, I mean, they're completely correct. I love revolvers. I really think they're just great guns. They're so much fun to shoot. Every time I shoot one, I always walk away and I'm happy. But our sport, as much as you want it to be, isn't tailored to a revolver anymore.
Well, and the time of like full size revolvers are for people who like hot rods. Like that's not coming back. Like we're not going cruising grand anymore. We're not doing any of the stuff. Like they're not useful. They're better use than like a butter knife for self defense, but like they're not as useful as a semi-automatic handgun. Smaller J-frame revolvers still have their place because of their concealability. But like if you want to have good time and you want to have like just kind of screw around, go watch a 90s action movie of your choice, then see what kind of like piece of leather and like magazine pouches that guy's carrying with that pistol. Go buy that stuff and go compete with that. And that will be a lot of fun.
I did, but I watched Danny Glover and he had a revolver.
And he get the Beretta set up. But like get something like that, and that can be a lot of fun to do it that way. But yeah, I would full size revolvers. If you want to do something, buy a full size revolver. Don't spend the time to go compete in USPSA with it. Go out there, shoot a bunch of B8s, shoot some standards drills, maybe go shoot some classifiers with it.
Shoot Still Challenge, right?
Still Challenge.
Still Challenge is a great place for a revolver because there are 5 targets. You don't have to do the reloading aspect of it. That's a great place for a revolver. I see a lot of revolver shooters come out to Still Challenge.
A belt and a holster and a pocket full of 38, and you'll be happy doing that. But as far as getting good and getting fast, I don't see the benefit in doing something like revolver.
Yeah.
All right.
Michael Pogge's going to kick us in the face for saying that, but take that, Michael.
Michael Pogge's been doing this for freaking years. He's invested like $500,000 into shooting revolvers. He's fine. Got his.
He is pretty good. He's fun to watch. That's for darn certain.
David Ohaso and Pogge and all you other cats.
Richard Wolf.
You guys just hang out over there. You guys are fine. We're not going to send any more people. You guys can fight it out amongst each other till y'all are dead. Anyways, thanks for listening. Thanks for downloading. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for all that you guys do. Thank you for Robert for, liquidating a bunch of money and getting a bunch of guns he's not going to shoot. He's going to sell later. Jared's going to get an HD 4.5 back and sell it in 3 months anyway. Life's all great for everybody. So... And then I will be able to reload again. And what will I do? Oh,
huzzah!
I know. It's been a long time. I walked by out of.
I need to sell my Dillon 650.
Well, I might set up too. I was walking out of Home Depot with Paige, and I looked at cement mixers, and she's like, "What do you want?" I was like, "Oh, brass. You know how much brass you could wash in this bad boy? Like this thing is." So
you just slapping the top of it. You know how much brass you could wash?
Get in this thing? Yeah, 10 gallons of 9mm brass washed. All right, thanks for listening. Thanks for downloading.
Money.
For Robert Wyatt and Jared Stepp, I'm Tom Nelson, bidding you peace, love, and soul as we depart the open waters of the Sea of Life on a little tugboat we like to call the PARAcast.
Good night, everybody.
Doop doop.
Okay, don't stop your recorders. My